Hi everyone! Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Legend of Blacksilver. In the last episode, we completed the Blackmire Pits, and we walked out of that dungeon with a hunk of Blacksilver, which you can see right there in our other possessions. We need this to be delivered to the blacksmith over in Lost Crag, so we can create the Black Blade for us, which is needed for us to beat the game. We walked out of there without using much spells. I don't think we used a single healing item as well. And we have even more gold from that adventure. So that was an amazing trip. And note that we didn't get infected with the lung rot disease a second time. So it must have been like a vaccination that we received from the flaxen incense and being treated. Anyway, in this episode, viewer, we're going to be heading around looking for, first off, doing the Blacksilver drop-off. Then we want to find some other weapons, because it's my intention in the next episode that I record to go and do the final dungeon. We'll need a special gem in order to do that, though, that I believe we get from either Several or the King. I can't remember which one of them now gives it to us. And with that, we'll be able to open up the door to that dungeon and head on in. A shoddy crossbow. That is better than our good simple bow. And I think that's I think it's not the best weapon in the game. That would be the Black Blade, which we're about to get. But I think that is like the last weapon that shopkeepers will sell in this game. Remember when these creatures were giving us trouble over here on this continent? Oh, and there's Lost Crag. Let's head on in. Oh, right. Gotta put in a disc. When I load into the game to start recording, I use a snapshot that I saved right at the very end of it to save me the time it would take for the actual game to load into it. So I don't need discs in the actual thing for that. All right, well, that was a bunch of meaningless babbling. Let's go ahead and talk with the weapon merchant first. So no matter what, we don't need the broadswords anymore. I guess we don't need any of this anymore, except for the shoddy crossbow at the moment. Now, if he sells superb simple bows, we'll buy those instead of using a crossbow. He is selling them. Okay, well then we'll buy 2 of those. And we will sell the shoddy crossbow because it's not as good as those simple bows. Yeah, so we want to visit a temple to use our silver coins. We'll need to spend that gem when we get it. We want to replenish our healing herbs, and then I think that's it, viewer. Like we're more or less ready to go. But I do want to record the last episode in the next video. Can I buy 9 of these? We can. How many do we have? 19. That'll be enough. We don't need to buy any other dungeon spells. We should have enough for this final dungeon. Unlike the other dungeons that we've done, we do not need to come back out of this dungeon. We'll be brought to a different area at the very, very bottom of the dungeon. And from that very final area, we will be teleported out of the dungeon and to the end game sequence, effectively. Oh, we can buy great plate mail. Oh, we got too much. All right, let's sell. Wasn't the great plate mail we had at the very end of the game as well for the Legacy of the Ancients game? I'm pretty sure that's what you get from the one guard chest, a broadaxe and great plate mail. Right, just in case we can find some superb great plate mail, though, I won't buy another one yet. Oh, a bank. I guess we can deposit some gold. 7,700. We'll put quite a bit in. 43,000 bucks. We're not struggling for money. This is the food guy. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, this is the magic guy. So let's go ahead and buy, I think it was 17? Lightning bolts back up to 50? Yep. We don't need anything else. We're good on armor enchantments and glow tips, enough to beat the game, so we won't need to buy any of those. Blacksmith is next. Oh, if I speak to him, not look at my inventory again, right in front of him. May I take your Blacksilver? Yes. With this Blacksilver, I forged a blade of hope. Use it bravely. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that went into our weapon inventory. You're not going to load? All right, there we go. Yep, superb black blade. Now, I've never had it shattered, but on the off chance it can break. I don't think it can, but I don't know that for a fact. We will continue to use other weapons until we're on the second level of the dungeon. Sorry, the mid-levels of the dungeon. So we don't have to worry about the assassins breaking the weapon on us there. All right, now we're looking for a boat to go back over to Thallin. We will stop by every town, though, that we see, since we do want to look to see what weapons and armor is available. And what can we talk about while we are doing this? Let's think. What's going on in real life? Another superb simple bow. We don't need it. So today is March 29th, 2025. I'm hoping to get this video uploaded tomorrow for the channel. And I believe it's going to hit... I mean, it's always awkward when we talk about the weather. But it's supposed to hit 85 degrees today here in New Jersey, which is... That will set a record, I think, for March here. Normally, until about May... Like the last week of April, it tends to still be around in the 50s or 60s here. 60-ish for April. No, we don't want any of that. We don't need food. This means I gotta get ready to put the air conditioning in the units. I need to call a landscaping company and get them over here to rip out those planters I have in my house that I think we talked about before. I think we saw no weapons here. It occurs to me that it was the planters watering them. A spellbinder. Are you friendly, old lady? I called her old lady. Now she's angry. Well, she certainly failed to bind us with any spells. So, when it comes to my plants outside, the faucets I have outside the house do not work. They don't have one. The backyard has no appreciable pressure coming out of it. In the front yard, there's no water that comes out of it whatsoever. I should probably have those looked at, but I haven't ever really felt the need. My attitude has always been that if God wants me to have a green yard, He'll send rain. Otherwise, I don't care. But the weeds care. Or rather, the weeds do not care. The weeds will grow no matter how much rain I do or do not get. Hello, Warlord Fighters. Are you friendly today? I'll buy a hit point potion. And I'm tired of weeding the freaking plants. I'm tired of it. Also, because it comes to water plants, I can't use hoses. So I have to fill I fill coffee pots. Oh, carrion crawlers. For some reason, this thing reminds me of the old man with the bird as a hat from the Labyrinth movie. Okay, so I have to be filling coffee pots with water and then walking them out there to water the plants. And I gotta do that about 2 to 3 times a day when it comes to the summer months. Another fair simple bow? Was that wait? No, you didn't get one before, Tim. Okay. Oh, what the heck, Tim? Oh, it was the shoddy crossbow that we had. All right. So every time I water all the plants in my planters, it takes me about 30 minutes to do it. And well, I'm tired of getting bit up by all the mosquitoes out here. I was definitely tired of getting bit by all the chiggers in the yard last fall. And I'm tired of sitting out there sweating in order to weed all those plants. I just want to pour chemical into the plants and kill all the those planters and kill all the weeds. I want to pour chemical in my yard and kill all the weeds there too. I'm done with it. I don't want to have to ever be out there in the sun doing that sort of stuff. I know I don't have to. I put the plants in the yard years ago. They're coming out of the yard now. We'll stop by that town on the way back, I think. Anyway, but it was watering the plants that I suppose was the start of that entire cancer adventure I had. In so much that it was early in the morning, around like 6 a.m., that I had gone out there to water the plants, where I saw the cats in my yard. Oreo, the mom, and her 3 daughters that were suckling on her. And from that moment on, I was like, I'm going to care for these cats. Oh, and we know what happened because of that. I'm still here, or I might not have been. I still can't believe how things worked out that way. That's utterly crazy to me still. All right, what else can we talk about? Had a fun time playing actual Star Citizen the other day with my brother Dave. So we were able to move cargo, join the same server. We didn't experience any real appreciable bugs, but we didn't do very much on the server. Still, it was fun to play with somebody, to be on like the same ship, fly off a planet into the out of the atmosphere into space, and fly to a space station, dock, and deliver cargo there. It didn't take us very long. I mean, it took us a while to figure out what to do, because we're still trying to learn some of the game mechanics and how certain things work in the game. Like, some ships have a tracker beam that's on the ship, but we didn't know how to do it, so it took us about, maybe like 10 minutes to figure that sort of thing out. Though he did get to witness the cargo problem that I had, where I spent about 2 hours trying to move cargo around in a cargo bay. You put the cargo too close together, and the collision detection stops you from moving the cargo out of the position it's in. So once it's set on your cargo pad, you can't actually get it off of it, depending upon how tightly you pack your cargo. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Let's see. Still playing Templar Battle Force. I hate the way the game spawns enemies in that game, because an enemy can be spawned, like, let's say I end my turn, and right here, an enemy could spawn this far away from me, move, and attack me, and kill me in a single round, which is what happened to my, in my current save slot, to my champion. Thank goodness it wasn't a not champion. My hero, in other words, the character that represents us, the main protagonist, and ended the level instantly, from full life to no life, with 2 attacks, 45 minutes down the drain. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Not something I would program in. Developers of Templar Battle Force who are not watching this game at all. Hold on. We'll talk about more random stuff in a bit. We gotta speak with Severall first. I don't want to skip this. Here we go. Greetings from the wizard Cereval. Strength +5. Here are 2 silver coins. Your destiny is before you. Find Baron Taragus in the Death-Spire Chasm. That's a great name. Stay far away from his dark sparkles of death. Trust nothing. Dark sparkles of death, viewer. It doesn't sound like it would be very terrifying, but those dark sparkles are probably one of the more dangerous things we will ever see in this game. And the final enemy, perhaps, that we will encounter in it as well. You will understand why I bragged in Tormentor about surviving the dark sparkles in this game, as to why I am good enough to be able to circumvent enemies and run around them in old Atari and Commodore games. So Cereval didn't level us, he didn't give us a gem, so the king must be the one to do these things. I'm assuming it's the king. In appreciation of your services, I, Durek, King of Thalin, and all true lands of Bantros, appoint thee Baron Jared Hiltman. Please accept this black opal gem. Cereval informs me that you have the Blacksilver blade in your possession. I feel great joy, but must caution you to hurry. Hurry. All right. We could end the game in this episode, viewer, but perhaps this one will just be a shorter one than normal, because I would like to go to. We still want to hit a temple. We got to use the black opal. There, we want to get healed, and I would like to make one final pass of maybe 2 or 3 more towns, looking for better armor and/or weaponry. Not that we'll find better than our black blade, but if we can get a better crossbow before we head into the dungeon, I would like that very much. Okay, so the temple. Temple next, I guess. Oh, actually, we can hit a few of the towns on the way, just to check. Here I sit here looking at all my game icons I have on my desktop. For all the games I have bought many over the years, and many which I have never played before. And I so very rarely try anything new. I fire up a large variety of old games to play them over and over again, but very few new ones do I fire up. Every year, I do try, though, to play about 20 new games if I can, give them a try. I did purchase them, after all, probably months ago. Because they looked cool, or I liked the description of how it worked, or possibly saw someone play the game a bit. I mentioned that. That was an awkward place to stop, Tim. Because what I should do is I should pick up 1 or 2 games only, like during a sale, and then try them to see if I like them, instead of them sitting in my Steam library forever and discovering only 3 years later that it was a great game, I want to record it, or it was a bad game and I regret purchasing it. Slomes. I'll assume you're hostile. You are. Slomes, why do you make me do this to you? You also have the occasional game that used to work and now doesn't work at all. Like Tachyon the Fringe, which is a space flight simulator, right? You play Jake Logan, I think was his name, voiced by, what was his name? Bruce Campbell. And I love this game back in the early 2000s, as I could use my joystick and thrust with it. But it doesn't run on modern resolutions. I can't actually get the game to launch. I sit in the main menu, and there's no way for me to actually select the start new game option. And it seems to just be a problem with the way the game is rendered. It looks fine. It looks like it should run, but it doesn't. And there's been a few games like that where they don't really run on modern hardware. I own and I have tried to record Total Distortion, but I can't get the game discs to work. This is the Dragon game. You know, we'll play the Dragon game 3 times. No instructions. We'll bet 100 gold 3 times. Just like real life. I tend, once again, not to ever enjoy playing gambling games in games that have them. I don't... Flip-flop is one exception, because that's not really gambling. You can do it well enough that it's more of a game of skill than chance. Though there is a slight bit of it involved in that game. But straight gambling games like craps or poker... I guess poker is a bit of a game where you have to also know how to... I want to say more than bluff, but you have to know how to read the table and play the hand that you have, even if it's an awful hand. So I guess there is some more skill involved in that, but mostly it feels like that one's luck. But then again, I've never played poker very much, so I guess I shouldn't really say that. Blackjack seems like that's all luck. Obviously, like roulette is luck. Don't have any good weaponry. Sorry, armor. They wouldn't have weaponry in the armor store, Tim. But they have no good weapons in the weapons store either. I guess we're probably going into the dungeon with what we have. The temple's going to be next. Oh. Viewer, today, I think it was today. It was here today, or it was yesterday at some point. There's been a massive earthquake. I think in... Where was it? Oh, sorry, viewer. I need to look this up now. Massive earthquake. I only just heard about it. What? Myanmar? Thailand is where it occurred. I only just heard it right before I began recording the video today. Poor people. Oh, I see we lost hit points from the last earthquake also. That happened in this game. Not this time around, though. Sorry, that's a sad topic, and I don't really have much more to add. We've had very few earthquakes in New Jersey. I think about a year ago was the last one we had here. It was very minor, I think. I don't think it was higher than like a 3, if that. Maybe a 2 point something. But you could feel everything shift. But I think we're supposed to be due for a large one. Now that I think about it, though, like you can't buy earthquake insurance, to my knowledge, here in New Jersey. So it's not something like you just hope it doesn't happen to you. That's an awful way to go about living your life. Considering, especially like what happens to me, hoping bad things don't happen to me is not doesn't pay off very well. That I wouldn't put money on bad things not happening to me. Alright, I'm babbling a bit. Let's talk with the magician. Okay, so I guess we'll buy another Annihilate. An Armor Enchant. And then we're kind of done, viewer. So, to my recollection, now when I improve these anything in the 90s, the increase will be much slighter than it was earlier. Let's see what Nimble Step goes up to. Oh, 100. Gotcha. So that's probably going to be the same for all of these ones then. Psychic Protect. I guess we might as well improve Lightning Bolt. Our Armor Enchant. Let's get all these to 100. And Annihilate. 3 coins left. Now, we could focus on Teleport or Light Spell, but I don't really like Teleport very much. And to be honest, we don't need the Light Spell really improved either. It's absolutely fine at 50. So I think we'll try pushing our Lightning Bolt up a little. And we'll keep doing that. Actually, we'll do Glow Tip once. And then we'll do Glow Tip a second time. As you can see, there are massive diminishing returns. I do not even know if over 100 does anything for you. I'd hope, though, that at the very least we don't lose any power. Like, I doubt there is. Like, any bug that would now reduce the damage we deal with, like, Lightning Bolt, since it's over 100. I don't think... I'm babbling. I don't know why anyone listens to me. Alright, let's start with the Empath. Hello, sir. Good morning. $800 each, and we need 14 of them. We can make do with just 10. 24 life elixirs should be enough to get us through the dungeon. Or 26, sorry, 26 life elixirs. Mr. Priest, sir. I actually don't know what our max hit points is. 1,500 now? 1,600. Yes. Where is my map? This particular place. Thank goodness for warp speed. Thank you, emulator developers who worked on C64. Vice C64 in particular, I really do appreciate what you guys have done. And we have a black... Opal, where is... Okay. The Crystal Tears. You haven't used this exhibit? 1 black opal. Dragons cry only once, for the tears of a dragon precede only its death. As its fiery breath turns to steam, a tear of liquid crystal flows from each eye. All this is legend, of course, for dragons perish with the decline of Blacksilver. Yet the gems you see before you are called dragon tears. They bear the legend of the dragon. It is said that the life force of an ancient dragon resides in these beautiful pools of liquid crystal. Do you want to borrow them? Yes? You receive 2 dragon tears. Oh, exhibit. Now the exhibit's closed. No one else will ever be able to view this exhibit. Now that we have. All right. If I'm laughing, it's just because the museum exhibits felt more like I was a visitor to a museum. These exhibits, they do feel more like gates for a hero that needs to have the currency to open them and proceed onward to make more progress in the story of saving the world. Like, that makes sense? Like, the other ones just felt like exhibits. Just something you would want to read about or possibly partake in. But these ones... Well, no, these are the same, Tim. These are the same. You've seen a few destroyed exhibits. Those are examples of ones that people probably would have wanted to pay to see. I don't know, though. It's like 500 gold to go into, like, this temple's archives. But once you pay, you can go in whenever you like. But there really is nothing else to see if you don't have one of those gems. But the shopkeepers do own gems. So I guess other people must be able to visit the exhibits here. Right? They have to. I think. They can't make much money otherwise. I'm assuming caring for the exhibits, the archives, and the temples costs something. I suppose maybe they get all their money from people. Wow! The earth rocks violently. You are knocked to the ground, minus 533 hit points. Maybe we will go back to the temple. Let's go. Crystal Summit has a bank. So I think we'll visit the bank, get our cash out, buy more healing potions. Life elixirs from the temple, and then we'll head on over. Back to Bantros. Bantros? Mailbane. I forget where the bank is, though. I think it's one of these shops. I think. There it is. So let's withdraw gold. So we're going to withdraw, I think, 6,000? While we're here, Crystal Summit, I think, is the best chance we have of finding better armor or weapons beyond what we currently possess over here on the continent of Thallon. Let's see if we get lucky. Crossbow? No. Great halberd. Not worth it. That's like arms armor. Superb arm mail. Not worth it. Alright, so since we took a big hit, we are going to go back to the temple. We're down 4 life elixirs, so that's going to be 3,200 bucks. But we have plenty of cash. And then off we go. We'll try to find a dungeon, but we'll do the dungeon in the next episode. And end the game then too, assuming that we don't die from the dark sparkles. Or the creatures in the dungeon for that matter. Now at this point in the game, maybe I don't think I talked about this episode yet, viewer. If I did, I apologize because I'm about to repeat myself for the next few minutes. At this point in the game, we have no real need for gold any longer. Unless we ended up using a great amount of our life elixirs in the dungeon and managed to unsuccessfully complete it, they're really, like, we would have died in that dungeon. We're not going to be needing any more cash once we enter into it again. And even if we died in that dungeon, we would have lost all the cash that we had found in it. Because I believe you respawn and you lose all of your money except for, like, maybe a handful of bucks. So, I think I might have done this in the last playlist that we had for this game, where I didn't bother opening any of the chests in this dungeon, because there's no reason to do it. We don't need to spend the extra turn opening them because we don't need the money. We don't care about any silver coins that are in the dungeon either, because we're at the end of the game once the dungeon's beaten. There might be special stuff in the chests, but I can't think of any place we would drop, like, why there would be something, because we've talked to every single person in the game who might want something from us. There are the white cases, but at this point in the game, I don't want to risk having bad results. I'd rather just skip every single one of them and go right down to the very bottom of the dungeon. Alright, that's it. This side 3. And I suppose we can take this boat out there, because I think it opened up a passage to the ocean. I think. Oh, no, I am wrong. It did not. Okay. Well, then we'll just stop by Crystal Summit again, then. What else can we talk about? Still not sure what to record next, viewer, after this is done. I'm looking over at what I see over here. Spirit Engine 2 is very tempting, since I haven't played that game in many, many years, and it used to be my number, 2 or 3 game ever made. I've yet to see the combat mechanics in that game replicated or duplicated by anyone else, which makes it feel rather unique to me. I like the graphics, I like the story for it, I like the music for it, I liked everything about the game. And as I think I've mentioned, it's one of those games where, as you begin to get familiar with how combat works, or the game mechanics, the main event loop, effectively, the main game loop, it begins to challenge you on that by throwing different types of enemies that you haven't seen before at you, or some other unique mechanics that involve them that you have to master by proving you understand, well, how to fight in that game. Oh, I did record a single episode of System Shock 2, so I will probably record the next one of those today. I would like to have all of that done by the time I am actually also done with Abiotic Factor. I'm thinking we're going to do a bunch of person survives in a spaceship or science facility type of thing this year, which means probably Dead Space. I never did buy the remake for Dead Space, by the way. I've heard decent things about it, but I have the first one. The first one feels perfectly fine to me. Although I look like they changed the zero-G portions of the game. And it just occurs to me, I don't do this nearly as often as I should. I'll make a quick snapshot. I stopped saving the game on screen, halfway through the video, as I record now. So I just made a save state. This way, if the game dies, at least I made it this far. So, we will stop by the town after we save it from the Wave Thrasher. I still think it looks like a water elemental. Maybe there's a kraken. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky with other weapons and gear. Metal Mania. Great plate mail. We'll take it. It gives us an extra suit of it. And Deadly Harbor Weapons, what have you got for us today? A fair crossbow. I think that is slightly better than our superb simple bows. I think. But But I'll hope for something better. Now this dungeon is, I think, we have to go to the east. And south. We start by going east, not south. Or I think we end up in a dead end. We're almost done with the episode, viewers, so I don't want to get started talking about anything else, like, super in-depth. The range of damage we do with the bow is amazing. Like 127 damage sometimes, but then other times 50? That's quite a spread. Oh, this is a tough creature if we want to fight one of them. I mean, we can win, it's just that's a long fight, even with the bow. Is it this way, Tim? No, it's this way. I think. No. Uh-oh. This is Vincent doesn't remember where the dungeon's located. And it's been many years since I've been out here. Ratville. So you have a long time since I've been out here. It's been a while since we've been at Ratville. I still love how dilapidated these buildings look. We're not doing gambling. I think for Dragon's Wheel, by the way, I think if you don't win... I can't remember if it was one of you guys who told me this, but I think if you don't win after a certain number... Oh my goodness, superb plate mail. Okay, that's the best armor we can get, as far as I'm aware. So we'll sell our great ones, then. And we want at least one more suit of this. I guess we should really buy 2. There's no reason not to. Okay, we're wearing it. This way, if enemies destroy our armor, we will not have to worry about it as much until they destroy the last suit of armor. Always bring extras with you when you go into dungeons. And weapons just in general. We do not need any spells. We're all good on those. Oops. Nope, don't need any of those spells either. I think what really helped us out was seeing to a lot of our needs early on in the game, when things did not cost as much. Where is the weapon store? Fighting everything but it. It's the last building we go in. It must be this one that's south of us right here. Whips and things. What have you got? Wow, viewer. That's a superb crossbow. So we're going to sell our fair simple bow. I forgot we had that. And I want to buy 3 of those crossbows. Actually, no, we only need 2. We can switch over to the Black Blade if I lose my other weapon. Both of these for some reason. Oh, there's no reason not to buy 3. You're at the very end of the game. And realistically, you'll be using these in the dungeon because they give you the option to hit things at range. Okay. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Some last-minute better equipment than what we're using. Let it be known Ratville is the best place to go for gear right here at the very end of the game. Not Crystal Summit, the very expensive place. Maybe they're smuggling the stuff in somehow. A babbler. What is that? We haven't seen this before. Two-headed goose? It dies. The crossbow's all the same. come on, game. I just want to find the dungeon now. Our glow tip is certainly looks like it's ending much faster than I remember it ending. Like it's expiring faster is what I meant to say. Viewer, I have been spending a good amount of time listening to what I've been saying recently and been quite horrified at how poorly I do in communicating my thoughts to others. Wind Widows. I don't even... What do these look like? Dragonflies? A little bit like them. Look like something I would see in Hollow Knight. Where is the dungeon? I can't remember if it was on the upper... It's either in the southwestern portion of this continent or the northeastern portion, and I cannot remember which one it was. We might be out here for a little bit. Okay, it must be in the southwestern, so I think we missed it some time ago. Just all marshland. And we don't need to stop by any more towns. We are done. So unless our food goes below 400. A fair crossbow. Okay, we'll take a free weapon. It's not going to be in this mountain range. I refuse to look it up. I refuse to look it up. Was it down here? You guys are generally not friendly. Maybe you're friendly today? I'll buy some food. Sorry, viewer. We're oh, barter? I, for some reason, expected this to be over by now, this episode. I could cut it and just come back and we'll be there. But I like to show it on screen. It's like, what else can we talk about? I see, as a game on my desktop, something called Starcom Unknown Space. We played through Starcom Nexus a few years ago, and I meant to play the sequel. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to record it or not because of the problems, both... oh, this is the dungeon we need. There were quite a few bugs in the game right there at the very end. And one of the quests, I think one of the quests was bugged, that I couldn't actually complete the main story quest. And I had to go into my save file to adjust it. So I'm going to give it an entire playthrough once completely before I decide if I want to record that one. Anyway, speaking of recording, viewer, we're done with this one. We have reached the dungeon. And in the next episode, we will complete the game. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. And take care, everyone.